Welcome back to this playthrough of Auburn Crown. It's turn 32. Let's see what has happened in the replay. Now, things are looking a little bit difficult for Mull Khan, but their defences do seem to be strengthening a bit now. Ooh, Sarnai has got a new elite unit there. And now, how are we going to go against Angnord? Our Viking clans has been taken out. Draka rebels removed. Dwarves reinforce. And Mutiner is reinforcing too. As expected, the forces of Moradon are coming at me from the west. Insula Metis has joined me. There we go. And this is why I needed to wait for a little bit longer, but at least my forces have not gone too far out of away from Libeslavia, because they have now mobilized, they have now rebelled against me, and I need to send the forces that I was sending away from that area back down to deal with the slave rebellion. Okay, Blood Axe veterans were destroyed, and I lost a small humanoid group as well, unit as well. So not too bad, but yeah, let's just. Oh my goodness! I'll leave that on the screen for a little bit if you want to have a look through all of that. The big news is slaves declare Libeslavia as their homeland. So now I have two rebellions on my hand. One with Mutiner in Andania, and the other, the slave rebellion in Libeslavia against Potentia. Okay, and my galleon has done a little bit of intercepting trade routes. All right, the spies are out. There'll be more of these messages, and it gets later in the game when there are two or three of the major countries might have espionage at a high level. The number of messages that pop up can get quite large. You can turn that off in the game settings. So if we get to that point, I'll do that. It can become rather distracting if every time you start the game you've got to go through all of these messages of spy reports before you get to the turn. So it's a personal thing. If you like to see all that sort of thing, of course leave it on, but if you want to skip through it, turn it off, which I'll show you later if we do it. Alright, so I have some trolls now that have joined me in Guatenheim, and I'm going to get ready to deal with this Moradon incursion. I have sappers. Now I'm going to get them to actually start building some fortifications immediately. Cavalry as well, they can come down and help. Right, so let's start building fortifications here. Fairly simple ones. But if we are invaded at some point by Mull Khan, and look, quite honestly, given their situation, that seems unlikely for a little while, if at all, those fortifications can be useful. Alright, well, we are at Guatenheim's, what would you call that, screen, territory, and I'm not sure what I want to do, because they've all been hurt to one extent. We'll get the dragon in here to do some damage first. So Imrith continues to really put the hurts on these units of Mull Khan, and the giants too. They take 2 shots to do it, so it's not like that's an easy task, but they have taken out that unit, which is good. And I think, can I do that one as well? I'll send in the, what are these? These are the hobgoblins, first hobgoblins, and yes, we will definitely attack them if they, I don't think they've had a chance to put any fortifications in place. so they will probably fall reasonably easily, and that means that we'll have Hashim as a port. Now, Guatenheim doesn't have a port. This is probably a big thing for them, but for now it needs to rebuild. And speaking of rebuilding, I'll do that for this giant unit here. And I think we might just take a bit of a risk and send this elite unit down here. Now, I haven't seen if there's anything down there. Can I have a look? I can have a look. Let's have a look. Nothing there. Good. So I'll come down and take Tahiras. That's about all I'm going to do there. And put in there, and I'll move Imrith up a bit. Guatenheim has 194 gold pieces left. I will save that. I think they have entrenchment of 2. Bring that back down and bring the elites over in case they do actually change tack and head towards Altenburg, the capital of Transmorodonia. Over to the Vikings now, straight up to see how the... right, so I'm going to send out Ingrid. She says she's ready, and start off by a forced march, which means that she is going to go from having a 1 supply, which should be 1 next turn as well, and it is. So she still have supply next turn, but from there on in, it's attrition and perhaps illness all the way. Back down to the Vikings, and you can see that East Kilmar has joined the Viking tribes. And we just need to get West Kilmar. There's animosity between these two, so it's not unusual that one would do something and the other one would say no, just to spite them. So let's just put in a little bit more diplomacy there. Where else can we put diplomacy? The Pirate Kingdom for sure. Put 1 in there, and the rest of them, that's about it. Even though they are showing, oh, that's right, Danevirk, because Danevirk is actually a far distant, but it's a Viking colony as well, much closer aligned with Angford than it is with Mittelheim. But of course, blood is thicker than water, and so they continue to have a relationship with the Vikings of Mittelheim. And Danevirk is getting very close to joining Angford anyway, on 84%. So if I put in a little bit of a sweetener there, it might just hold them back a bit from actually joining Angford. Okay, now I do want to actually build them up a bit. So this'll take quite a few points to do. That's fine. Put in the effort now, and we will have a strong Viking neighbour. Leave them there. Yeah, sure. Leave them there. They don't really do much. Just sitting out there in Ivarstag. Now I am going to move some of the Scoresbone forces down into Mittelheim itself. Or will I? Let's have a look. I could send them down this way to threaten the Silk Sultanate, which might be the better move. Alright, that's what I'm going to do. As I said, just to be indecisive. So I can only do 1 at a time. Well, I think so. Let's have a look at my research. I know I've got 1 level of research in invasion, so that means that I can actually move, excuse me, transport 2. But for now, I've run out of points, so I won't be transporting anything. Need more gold pieces, but that's all right. I will move some of these into positions where they can also be transported later on. And Iverson moving him up as well. Let's check out the supply situation. Yeah, they're fine with their supply, but I'll see if we can get them up to a higher level. For now, and that's the Viking. Oh, no, it's not down here. Yeah, couldn't do much with that. Move them in. No. Alright, I'm fighting back. And again, I should check the... Let's do that now. That seems to be about right anyway. Good. Send them into attack. Giants. How are they going to go? Well, it looks like they've taken quite a bit of damage. The only way I can move that out and move them in. Let's try that. Yes, good choice. And capture Dirkwood. So we're getting reasonably close to Donsborough, which is one of the alternate capitals of Angnord. There are actually 4. Watersbend is the main one. Then there is Goodrich, Donsborough, and Holtus. All of them need to be captured to finally defeat Angnord completely. Taking Watersbend is bad for their morale, but they can actually set up the throne over here in Holtus for as long as it takes. That is it for the Vikings and for Jotunheim. Over to what's happening with Mutina. Okay, so now I'm going to start really putting a bit of heat onto Nick. That's okay. So as you can see, it's really a matter of time with these guys. They will get defeated, it's just how quickly. I'm not going to go for a leader, I'll go for this outlier here. Put up a decent fight. Just have to sort that out. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit silly, attacking too much. It makes sense. Bring in the specialists, the magicians, high-level clerics, all those sorts of characters, and get ready to finish off Mutina in the next few turns. Now they have 221 gold pieces, still building there. Putting some effort into them, because this leader here will eventually be the one that raises the army that will fight through or travel through Mormont to fight against Angford and the Dwarf Kingdom over here eventually. Not quite yet. That's good enough for them. Potentia, before I forget, because the last turn of course I did, doesn't look like Nick did much down there either, so that's okay. Upgrade them. Upgrade them and them. Good. Put that some armor into that one there, bit of armor into them, and I can continue to actually, yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so he has reinforced there. That is Meradak, on the way to the capital of Bron Anvil, Time Nero. Probably overspent on Imhotep, but that's to make up for forgetting them last time. Potentia still got plenty of gold pieces, so all I'm going to do is upgrade the whole of the metalless forces. And oh yes. Okay, so I did have the main force of Potentia over here with the Empress ready to go against Yugoslavia, but it took all of the year, well, 9 months of the year before they actually got their stuff together and made the attack or made the rebellion. So I'm a little bit caught off guard, but it's not the end of the world. I still have my leader and forces ready to go, and will do my best to bring them back as quickly as possible. Yeah, and continuing this sort of pseudo attack down here, more of a reconnaissance in force. It's okay. Yep, it's okay. Yep, it's okay. Right, so they have moved into position, cut that off. They still have 499 gold pieces, so I'll have a look at their research. Yep, still on the upper maximum. So, diplomacy, got 3 chits left. I can put diplomacy into Mercoria, Aramis Island, Pirate Kingdom. Still got to try and get them on side so that we can command the seas a bit better. 424 left, and that means that it's probably time to get some cavalry, some faster attack units. That'll do for this turn. And lastly, so these well, I'm calling them paratroopers, but they're sky vaulters in this game. Just give it that sort of fantasy feel. And I just don't know how much damage I can do to that elite unit without actually upgrading myself. Yeah, I'm going to spend this turn upgrading whatever I can, which doesn't look like that much. Oh yeah, because I don't have many gold pieces left. So instead, I'll go back to the old tried and tested attack. So as I said, I'm kind of avoiding the fort here. It's a bit of a tough nut to crack. To sort of cut them off a bit. A bit vulnerable, aren't they? Alright. Good enough for this turn. Let's have a look. As we scroll out, and I've done there for a change. The raiders over here will continue to affect the port of the Tribal League, while these will set themselves up as early warning systems. course, I've done it. All been done. Okay, so all in all, I think things are going pretty well for the adversaries. Look at that fortress. Continue to disrupt their mine production in the Tribal League. The Allies have got ships out somewhere. Oh, that's right, I was going to look into that, wasn't I? Land warfare for Mittelheim means that all of the land units, the elites, the veterans, infantry, cavalry all get a plus 10% morale boost. And the amounts that we're getting are quite good. Alright, that is it for this turn, and thank you for watching again. We'll see you soon.